All right. I just want to talk about, the things in my life, topics that get presented to me, and things that just go up inside my head. And this is my YouTube channel, so I thought, this would be a good place to, document this shit, archive it, whatever. And today I wanted to just talk about, is working in entertainment or film or TV or whatever the fuck you want to do, is it worth it? And it is worth it in a way. It is very like rewarding and fulfilling, but it's comes with this struggle throughout your entire time, your entire career. And it doesn't get worth it until very late in your career. That's when it starts getting worth it. And once you view its worth, is it really like was all the suffering in the beginning worth it, And that's pretty much what I'm here to talk about. So, what I'm saying is like if you don't know how the film world works, you usually start off as a production assistant, PA, or the bitch of the production, which you get paid minimum wage, so like $12 an hour, to essentially take orders and be a servant to everyone else on set that's more important than you. That is considered better in every single way, shape, or form. Yeah, I mean, you have no skills. You're technically skillless. This is a skillless job. You just take orders, you listen, and you do. There isn't no like real thing. You're not directing. You're not holding a boom pole. You're not, you know, mixing. You're not holding a camera. You're not setting up shots. You're not messing with the art piece and shit like that. You're just taking orders. You get lunch orders for people. You know, you help set tables when the food comes. If like dude wants his like more chips at his station, you go get it. Doesn't matter if it's a 2 mile walk, you go get it. And that's kind of the shit that like it's fun to think about because you in your brain you're like, man, I'm moving forward in this career. And in reality, sure you are, but it's very slowly. Like I know some people that are like camera PAs who've been working in that industry for 5 years already. And don't get me wrong, it isn't like I'm not trying to shit on this industry or shit on film specific. Like I'm not trying to shit on the idea of growing in this industry. I'm more or less saying that it is tough. This is like a really competitive industry, and majority of the time, if you want to improve, you have to hit some sort of luck. You got to get like a lottery. Like for instance, one of my teachers was telling me like if you wanted to move up to like a sound mixer or even the boom operator, you got to be like lucky enough that the boom operator didn't show up that day, and that the sound mixer was like, I've been talking to you. You seem to know a lot about sound. You be my boom op today, and that's just not worth it. It isn't worth it because that could take years to get to that point. This is a very like, oh, you need. This is a need to know industry, and for me at least, I'm still getting like editing jobs, and I would call myself more of an editor now than I am, for people who know me, I was more of a sound mixer, a sound guy on set. I'm more of an editor. I haven't actually been on a lot of sets since I finished college. In college, film college is not worth anything. Don't go to film college. There's better ways to get into the film industry for way cheaper and still have like the same abilities and same like opportunities of a person that went to a college or university for it. If you wanted to actually get into film but not spend as much money as going to a college, you could just go and work at like a rental house, a camera rental house. Talk with the people that are buying renting the cameras there. Talk with the people who are like wanting these cameras because the majority of them are working on short films or featured films, and just talk with them, learn more about the cameras, ask, hey, if you need any PAs on a set, I could be there. And that is like the easiest way to get onto a set. But that's like, again, as I said before, with all the things I've said in the past, you're risking being a bitch for 5 years. Now, you're better off than, me per se, who has student loans from going to a college to just network. That's all I did in that school. Most of the stuff that you learn in college, I learned in college, I could have easily just searched up on a YouTube video. I could have easily searched up on Google. It isn't like rocket science either. If the audio is too loud, you turn it down. If it's too quiet, you turn it up. You know, the only things you really need to learn is why you would do these things. What's the point? And majority of the time, you can learn these points by watching videos and asking people around on a set as a PA. And I get it. It's always, talked about as like you're working as your job. You're having fun as a job. And it's not true. If you ever been on a real set before, there's a lot of yelling. There's a lot of like people being angry with other people. And sometimes these rare occasions, like between like every 30 like every 30 minutes to an hour, you'll have like this funny moment with another person, and it's like, haha, that's really cool. But it's a lot of just standing around watching what's happening on set. You're not doing anything. You're just standing, watching. If you're needed, you go do something. You go run like a mile or drive to like a store, pick up some items for them. So really, that's it though. You're not doing much of anything else besides that. So it is cool in a sense if that's what you want to do with your life, and understand that the outcome of this journey isn't as good as the other ones out there. Go for it. Don't let this video seem as like a put off. Don't seem like this video is like, hey, you shouldn't do this. I'm just saying this is what's going to happen in this industry if you do decide to join this industry, because it is a brutal industry. Take it from me, who's been in the industry already and has only been on 3 sets, but has edited a shit ton of short films and advertisements and yada 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 for people. It's a hard industry. I mean, the only reason why I haven't like quit at these editing jobs and just go for something different is because as soon as you say no to these people, you lose a contact. You'll never talk to them again. You'll never see them again. You'll never hear from them again. And that job goes to someone else. And you're never getting that job back. You're never getting that job back. So it's a very stressful, hard, competitive industry. And sometimes it's not really worth going through all that stress. And for me at least, I started to lose love with film. And to hear myself say that essentially was one of the worst things ever. I saw that I just wasn't having fun with film anymore. And I wanted to change that, really. I didn't like the fact that I was losing love with something that I wanted to do passionately since high school. Since like sophomore year, I wanted to do it. I watched a bunch of these old films, watched a bunch of these YouTube like analyzing each scene of a movie, and I was like, I fell in love with film. I wanted to do every aspect of it. I loved editing. I loved doing sound. I loved camera work. So to hear myself at 20, almost 21, saying I'm starting to fall out of love with this industry, with this art style, it really hurt me. Because I said it. I just said it one day. I was just editing at my PC, and I said, damn, I really don't like this anymore. And hearing me say that, I was like, what am I doing? I have to, go back to the basics. I haven't had fun on a film set since maybe since I did that documentary about, you guys don't, there's no way anyone who watches my videos know this, but I did a documentary where we went to a wildlife sanctuary to just help animals, and that was the last time I actually had fun, because I was doing stuff that I didn't think I knew how to do. It was a documentary about stuff, and I didn't know anything really about it, so I was just doing what I wanted to do, recording everything, and it was so much fun. I was meeting new people, I was seeing these animals, and it was a great time, and I enjoyed every moment of it. But I haven't had fun since, or as much fun as I had since then. And one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to make a hip hop or a rap documentary where I go around New York talking to people about what made, more or less like the older folks, asking like what made 90s rap. And I want to make that so badly. It's one of the, you know, things that I enjoy the most is old rap and films, and making a documentary on old rap sounds like the perfect idea. So I think I'm going to be taking a step back from film and editing and probably doing something different. If you know me personally and and not have been watching, like, you know, people who have watched my YouTube videos know me personally, so you already probably know this. But if like somehow you stumble upon this and know me from somewhere else, then hi. But I'm quitting film essentially, and this is like, I'm in like this last form of film. For doing it for almost, no, pretty much a year, an entire year of just editing and working on 2 film sets. I didn't realize how much, I guess when I was in school, it just didn't, it seemed normal to do it. But now it doesn't. It doesn't, like, now that I'm getting older and with the pandemic keeping me inside, it doesn't feel good anymore. I guess because I was around the people that I liked doing films, it made it better. But even then, you know, it was still hardship. But at least I was working at the positions I wanted to work at. I'm not doing that now. And I don't know when I will do that. So I'm taking a step back. I'm actually going back to school for something that pays a lot more than film. To get my master's in something completely different. Let that be known. And essentially trying to figure out life. You know, life is difficult. No one really knows how it works or why we even continue, but hopefully one day I'll be able to say I love film again. And I still do, but I can't admit that to myself yet. So one day I'll admit, hey, you know, I love film again. I love doing this. But till then, I'm definitely getting a different job. I'm definitely going to work in a different industry. One that has more job outlook probably, and, you know, more pay probably. But thank you for listening. I appreciate it. It does mean a lot to me. And have a good day.